there's definitely some strengths from this team, but there obviously are some question marks on how they're going to pull it off. But JDXL are 8-0 for a reason.
They are.
They are one of the best teams in the league, and I think their biggest thing is they are the best team at early game. They've got themselves an Udyr, a champion who is very, very powerful early, very impressive early farm. Obviously, you're going to be able to actually smash through the camps, get on the map. You know, you got the bear slap, you got the flash, you can set up for ganks yourself. So I want to see what Dan can do on this. But MNM, maybe predicting a little bit of shenanigans.
Can they upset that just by doing some weird level 1 stuff? Now, you do have Nautilus, great level 1 champion, and of course Ezreal, not bad at that level 1 Mark 2, but they are just going to only find themselves some wards, the defensive ward, and of course one onto that red buff on the bottom side of it.
Yeah.
Just seeing that intro to the Rift, you know, it's been a while since we've seen the Duck. We haven't seen the Duck, lovingly called Sothoch, Destroyer of Worlds, for a little while. I wonder what's happened to it. You talked about snails earlier. I'm worried more on the foul variety.
Look, Kalim's gone.
That's it. That's where the Duck's gone. They've devoured Kalim.
Devouring players one after the other. Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Well, let's see those minions and jungle camps go the similar way into the void as they are taken, as they start spawning soon.
Get chickened down by Dan here. I want to talk a little bit about scaling them.
Yes,
We've
go for it.
had a little look on the early game, but how are we looking on the scaling side? Because on MNM, I see the likes of, obviously, the big one is the Gwen.
Yes.
You know, the Barber coming out. Obviously, you're going to be able to really get into the late game and be a complete nuisance. Obviously, Kryze, as we move later, in a solo lane, is going to be very, very effective at split pushing, taking towers, being a problem there. You obviously got the Corki and the Zeri on the side of XL. You know, but MNM, you know, they got a good mid-game spike with this Ezreal Nautilus as well. So, you know, I want to get your opinion on the scaling of this game and how you think this is going to go.
That is exactly where I was looking towards as well, because I look at the lanes from MNM, and I look at that mid-game, completely on board with you. I think that if JDXL take poor fights in mid-game, you're going to get hit by a Nautilus hook into a Lissandra ult, and your first target is going to die incredibly quickly. JDXL needs to play very, very well around making sure that they can follow up and pile onto the people diving onto you, someone like Dan or FGG that gets caught out of position. In the mid-game, I'm not sure if that damage threshold is going to be met by a Corki and a Zeri. Late game, I think, can do, though. So, for MNM, what we're going to have to see is that is the HUD from the void happening on screen right now.
The ducks in the computers. Quick.
Oh, Caleb, it's coming for our scoreboard! But yeah, I think that if MNM pile too heavily onto one target, into like a big one and 2 of the rockets, Zeri going crazy, and then Camille chasing you down, MNM could run into the problem they have had all of this split, which is, cool, you got good early game, sometimes that can last into the mid game, and then late game just falls apart. That's what we've seen almost entirely throughout this split. So I'm wondering if JDXL can survive through to that point. Of course, that won't even be an issue, though, as if we go back to what you mentioned earlier, Udyr can be that kind of the baton pass, that pass from the early game into the mid and late game. Udyr can prop up some of your lanes. You know, Lissandra into Corki can be quite punishing with the mid-jungle 2v2. Top lane, you can already see that Caleb into Kryze, taking good trades. And
oh, no!
Speaking of that, the Ignite's gone down.
He's dead. And he's chugging the potion, but no. Kryze just about survived there. But Soft's coming in with the old monkey bop. Dan's about as well. Ghost gets popped by Dan and catches him with the bear stance, and Soft actually feeling the
don't do all this.
Burn. Flash comes out, and Dan, no flash available, but M&S is coming in, Chimera as well. Soft has to smite the crab to stay alive. And he jumps back in and steals it away. Now Dan has to be careful because Caleb is chasing for more. Dan receives a haircut, and M&M find first blood, but Chimera will fall to M&S. M&S is on the wrong side of the map with only cleanse up and available, but M&M, low HP, need to be very, very careful as M&S is coming in.
Oh, he just misses it!
Out of the monkey bombs. Not enough. Ignite will get him a kill. 2 for 1 in favor of JDXL.
Our adaptive defensive from Camille getting that physical damage shield was so huge. Gets them just about the ability to turn around that trade after the stun misses. And Dan, I think, makes completely the right choice. You know, ends up seeing Soft over that wall, pops the ghost and says, look, we got to fight. After that, calculation just goes a bit awry, though, because with the Wukong, has that smite, and also importantly here, gets to get the double DPS, tanking up that stun from the clone. Actually, the clone doesn't end up hitting him, but same way, that clone gets a lot of value out, and you already were losing that priority in that top lane. Kellen was always going to get there first. It's such a coin flip play for JDXL, who've normally been, of course, very active in the early game, but rarely to this extent.
Man, if they stuck together, there was a world where Kryze went down there, or at least
100%.
2 for 2. Dan now making his attention, or at least his I forgot.
Presence.
His presence, there we go. He's going down into the bot side. Just going to look to pick up his Krugs for now, but We'll keep an eye on him and see if he decides to actually make some plays towards the bottom side of the map. As Caleb now just catching this wave, obviously has to deal with the fact that Kryze has picked up a kill, but large wave pushing constantly into Caleb. Caleb gonna be pretty happy with the way the lane stakes work for him, as he is actually down a level on Kryze, and Kryze has got double buffs.
That's the thing. The double buffs is pretty big there, right? Because we were seeing some fairly good trades coming out of Caleb in the early levels. We know that Camille can suffer into Gwen, even with Gwen getting nerfed on subsequent patches. But now we have to start tracking something else, because we can see that actually bot lanes have just reset and supports are starting to get themselves onto the map. Shredder has that flash, has the ignite, has all sums. Of course, both supports have that. And they're just making sure they're around. And if you do have another big play, like they were looking for in mid lane there, supports are starting to get to the point where they can get lost in that kind of radio static. So watch where those supports are on the map. They might be the difference maker in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, MNS only has one cleanse. Can't deal with all of the CC from a Nautilus and a Lissandra combined, so it is a bit scary.
It's like the, you know that one scene from The Matrix, the dodge this! Hook comes out of nowhere and you only got that one cleanse. How do you want to follow that one?
No, I didn't know where to go! I just smiled at you because I have nothing. I'm sorry, friend.
Gosh.
I realized that there was two options there.
A red pill and a blue pill?
Awkwardly laugh and look really stupid, or make you look stupid and just not react. So I chose to make you look stupid.
I tend to do that without much help, so yeah. Thank you for that eventuality. But
that was, I'm sorry, little one. that was my moment with you there.
Gosh, well, okay, so we're heading back towards this top lane and seeing what was being felt around there. Of course, this was top side pressure once again from MNM. See Caleb pushing beyond that turret. I do think MNM have played fairly well at denying Kryze. Kryze has been such an important factor for JDXL in this league, in this entire split so far. I do think Kryze has been our best top laner, and cutting him away from resources, making sure he's not going to get as much CS, as much experience. I think that's a pretty good way to go about making sure JDXL can't go into a strong mid game, because of course Kryze is on a big playmaking champion for the team.
I like the way Shredder was just kind of holding that bush. There was 4 people bot lane and he's like, I'm going to hold the line. I'm going to pretend that like I have backup. If I just sit here and someone does step up, maybe a hook or maybe an auto attack or something will scare them off from potentially diving us. Obviously, we're still on the durability patch. These towers still do more damage.
Yes.
Yada, yada. You've heard it 100 times before. We know. But there is still 4 members diving those 2. Still has a pretty good kill potential.
JDXL have been the team to tower dive, and also XL and the LEC have also been doing that. Of course, JDXL were turret diving mid with their mid lane Zeri and then the Volibear at light level 3. Now, with an Udyr, you still have some ability to get that targeted CC, lots of early game damage. It's not the same as a Volibear, who seems to be kind of uncontested in that regard right now. But still, there were some options. I wonder if that early game scuffle towards topside maybe just deprived JDXL of the resources they potentially would like to have used to go on the aggressive, though, in any other play.
Well, it looks like we're going to see Shredder go walkies. Flash is now back up and available for MNS, so not being punished in that window where there's no flash. And now with that Hex Drinker, with obviously the rockets now up and available, MNS able just to be a bit of a nuisance. It's going to be a while, though, before you get that horrible Corki level where you got the Ludens, you've got obviously the Mirror Mana, and you're just chunking people constantly with the rockets.
Also don't have the package right now. Of course, it's 8-minute mark been hit, so Herald has been started. We did have actually, no, JDXL, I don't think you want to commit to this. This doesn't seem like a good fight.
Yeah, they're still coming in. They're trying to collapse him forwards. They're going to lock one down. Looks
FGG's level 6.
And they are looking for Kryze. A big ultimate from FGG, though, as the hostile takeover does so much work.
Oh, the reset!
They get a second there for MNS as well. MNM, it didn't look like their fight, but they turned it around. They made it about them.
And you know why that happens? JDXL, kind of off the radar, I didn't spot this while this was happening, managed to get level 6 onto FGG. This is something that some of the very best teams in the world showcased in Worlds 2021. Damwon here would start rotating their support around the map and get them early level 6. That hostile takeover was instrumental in that Herald fight. And then they walk away without that objective, sure, but with a handful of kills. And it's so impressive to see them turn up to this fight and say, yeah, we'll take a fist fight.
Absolutely beautiful. As we see the fight again, there it is. The hostile takeover hits all 4 MNM members, and it is just doomed from there.
And this is going to be so we have to track as, oh, hell, even see Kryze getting the bailout, right? Even at the end of that, not even a single kill on the other side. They hit their power spikes and they hit it, but now we have to see later into this game, that might be another thorn in the side of MNM, because you're diving onto that first target. That's what we said. Well, one, there's going to be a bailout on it. Two, you're going to have to deal with the hostile takeover. And that means it makes it so hard to get that backline access. So FGG already had such a glow up this year, from being one of the weakest supports in our league to arguably the best, actually showing off another clean team fight.
I think the big thing as well from this fight is, you know, we were talking about how MNM, they need to kind of pressurize and play around this mid-game. We're now 10 minutes in. They are down 2,000 gold, actually 3,000 gold now, as the gold just ticks over to 18k in favor of JDXL. So XL, 3,000 gold league, sure, there's a Rift Herald, and that's going to be able to net back some cash, and if you can turn that into first tower blood with plates, that's a big injection into cash. The likes of Kalen would do amazingly with that, the likes of Michigu as well. If you can get that gold into those two, then maybe that mid-game dream can still come alive. But XL, they want to get into the later stages of this game. That's when they're feeling comfortable, and that's when they're going to look to push. If MNM don't ever get that good mid-game, and JDXL just can get free scaling, then this game is really rough. It's
done. At that point, you just put it to bed at that point, because, again, all that gold, 2 kills and assists going over to that Corki. Well, of course, that first blood was, well, that first whatever it was ends up getting a bit dangerous.
The package!
Ouch.
It saved him. Chimera couldn't click him with the arc as he got knocked back.
And of course, he would have been unstoppable, even if he does that. Chimera jumps in, just takes a whole load of damage for it, doesn't have a teleport. And suddenly, Chimera's stuck in now an extra part of this laning phase.
Oh, they're pushing for it.
Even less HP. Still got Cleanse, still got Flash, still got, of course, the base Valkyrie, too. MNS is sitting so happy here. Happy days.
Yeah, and it's going to be so hard to kill him with the Hex Drinker. I want to see this Rift Herald kind of get ignored from the bot mid lane and actually get looked to put down in the top or the bot. But they're still, once again, going for MNES, going to wait it out as long as possible. There he goes, caught by the cleanse, popped out, everything used by MNES, and he's able to return so much damage in.
But even with that, you've lost most of your HP. Top lane, similar things happening.
Kalem's trying to get the outplay, but he can't do so. Cries will take him down. True damage from the Precision Protocol just stacks up way too hard, and MNM just losing out across the map here.
He tried so hard to shut down the top lane too, and they are losing across that map. Suddenly, MNS 2-0-1, top lane 3-0-1 out of nowhere. JDXL completely off to the races.
Yeah, XL now just set up for complete value in this game. Words are eluding me right now. I don't know what I can say, man. They got 2 dragons, they've got the better late game, and they are ahead.
And the third lane
is in for a whole world of hurt. The bear slap under the tower. Dan's going to take 1 shot. He's not going to take the second, and that is a clean as can be tower dive from JDXL.
And they hit 3 lanes in as many minutes. It's mid lane with the ability to just push off that Lysandra. No, doesn't really lead to the largest amount of gold. At least MNM gets something towards this top side. Chimera's going to hang towards there too. It is going to be
nah, they lost.
Full tower going down, but is it going to be first? It isn't. It's going to be second. Don't even get that extra consolation gold.
No, it's just a bit of gold into Kalem. Shared was soft there. Kalem very happy with that, considering Kryze is 3-0 and got a whole level on him. But still pretty rough for him as Kryze actually looking to interrupt the recall. They catches onto the clone. They got the Cyclone if they want to keep this up, but they are just going to have to back off for now. That red buff ticking away a little bit here, but in comes down onto the flank as Kalem as well. MNES coming in, the rockets are coming down, and Kalem is going to try and keep Soft alive. Soft flashes out, but now Kalem is the one in danger. Soft has to throw the Cyclone down, and he is popped. It's another 2 kills for JDXL, as MNM are just melting at the seams.
And JDXL are just calling MNM at every play now. They're calling the bluff and saying, yeah, we'll fight. Heck, Kryze has even been so disrespectful. He's gone cooldown boots. He's into double AP solo lanes. He could have gone for those Merc Treads. Could have gone towards more defensive build and says, no, I don't need them. Give me that extra cooldown reduction and the ability haste on the table. This is flexing the muscles from the top side of JDXL. Kryze, again, we kept talking about this guy is probably our best top laner in the league. This guy is someone you want to shut down, and they gave it a good try. But they let him into the game around that Herald fight, and this is what he does with those resources. So confident on the aggressive front foot, and Chimera and Shredder just over the wall going, yeah, good luck with that. We're not buying in.
I don't know what MNM can do at this point. The gold lead is already at 14 minutes, 6,000 gold in favor of JDXL. They've got items starting to come in on all fronts here. You've got the Triforce, which is already finished on Kryze, and he's now working towards his next item. Like you said, Boots too. Everybody has got a full item other than FGG. That's fine. They're quite happy on that. Let's look on the other side. Chimera's still not finished up their next item. And if you actually compare them to MNS, MNS has Hex Drinker, Lost Chapter, and a Muramana, and Boots too. Chimera has Kindle Gem, Lost Chapter, Boots 1.
Yeah, it is
That's
such a
big
huge difference. It is ridiculous how different the itemization is right now. You also have the 2 dragons on the side of JDXL, and they're 2 good basic dragons too. A little bit of scaling damage, a little bit of percentage resists, and MNM have to deal with all of this. It does mean there are shutdowns, and it does mean there are objective bounties to play around. They can get one of those objective bounties from that bot side of the map, but it is such a small amount in what they have to make up, and they are constantly behind the play now. You've lost all of your outer turrets, or at least you have done just now, and you are going to lose vision from that. You're going to lose the ability to find the engages you want, because I think the one way you do get back into this game is a Lucky Nautilus hook. It's a Lissandra Wukong over the wall onto someone that hasn't really got the vision to protect their own pushes, but when you're losing all of this positioning on the map, it is so hard to do that. MNM, they found a little bit of a way to do this around Bifrost in that one hugely late game scenario they had. But doing that against JDXL, 8-0, looking to beat every damn team in the league, it's a very different situation.
It is. I think there's also, you know, like you're saying, there is obviously, when you're playing this kind of a comp where you have just individual pick potential, you have that big wombo combo, you're not going to win a team fight off it. There's no way, not at this point. But you could find those picks. You could find those shutdowns. You look at mid. MNS, yes, he's got Flash and Cleanse available to him. He's also worth 500 gold.
Imagine
That's
if
a big
you could
shutdown.
combine summoners. I'm taking Flens this game. What about Heal Gnite?
Ignite.
Heal Gnite. It's the Yuumi summoners.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Who needs mobility at that point? What else have you got?
TP Ghost, but I don't know what you call it.
Teleghost? That just sounds like a phasmophobia boss.
Ghosty port.
And you know what? All we say about that, it's still about as coherent as MNM's game plan after this point, because what the heck do they do? I mean, at this point, you're sat here and you are preying on mistakes. Everything that you can do proactively is very, very limited.
Yes, unfortunately so. I mean, Soft just loses over half his health.
Yep.
Just for walking into his jungle, because there is a ward there. Chimera's taking a lot of damage as well. MNS doesn't even have his Ludens yet. He hasn't even got a fully stacked Muramana. This is how far Soft is behind. He's getting absolutely melted by the Corki.
I'm going to ask the observers to do something which might make the viewers avert their eyes. Can we have a look at the individual gold? Look at that! Look at the mid lane difference. That is absurd. What's that? 4,000 gold, 3.5 even.
This is like every Corki's dream. Because
every person is like 1,000 gold over their lane opponent.
If you play Corki, you know that he's a champion that really likes a lot of different components for different items at once. Hence why you get the Hex Drink of the tier and all that kind of stuff. As we are actually in the midst of Soft just getting taken down. Kryze unstoppable. JDXL getting a Dragon on the other side of the map as well. They are looking...
They can't stop winning.
So good. It is just dobs everywhere, boss man. They are looking so good.
Now the question is... how do you deal with not having Baron on the map? Because you've started to get dragons, that's good, you're on soul point, that's awesome.
Oh, he's at the package on the head, and he is dead. MNS takes him down. JDXL get tier 2 tower, and MNM are trying to scrap some level of defense together. Luckily to them, there's only 3 waves to deal with. But Dan, Herald on the other side.
He's got his Ludens now. That's what happens. He's got his Ludens. He had that for that fight. I was going, well, maybe it stalls out because they don't have the Baron. Well, they have a Herald. They had the package. They make the big play. And JDXL, I'm really impressed, actually, at how they've managed to find increasingly more effective go buttons. In this game, I was like, yeah, actually getting this many advantages early, sometimes it stalls out. You know, it's a little hard to do those tower dives still at the different points. They're so far ahead. They're so coordinated. They put that vision advance. They're doing it by the book, and they're making it look flashy at the same time.
Do you remember when Herald used to give a Baron buff basically to like a single person?
Yes!
That was the original
Was that when it
version
was
of
the
it.
really derpy-looking Herald as well? Like
Oh,
the...
I thought it always looked the same.
No, it used to look a lot more cartoonish. In fact, do you remember the Star Guardian PvE event? It was in that for a little while. They used the Herald model for it,
Yeah, which we're not getting back in the next Star.
which is really sad because I loved that event.
It was
Same with the
so-
Odyssey one too.
It was a
many
really,
hours.
I like our PvE.
Yeah, do you remember that? Do you remember the Odyssey one? Everyone would play Ziggs and just like continually satchel themselves into a corner to get. That was the whole thing. If you didn't play the PvE League of Legends expansions, they were really good. Those events, they were really good. I enjoyed them a lot.
I want more. I want more PvE events. They were so much fun.
Maybe we can get one with the Void. Maybe that'd be a really
cool, actually. That'd be a really cool one. I'm sad we didn't get like a Ruination one. When the whole
Yes, but then I also looked at the Ruination event in general, and I wasn't entirely on board of where the story was going. So you know what?
I agree with you on that. Would have been cool though to have.
It would have been.
Had like.
You could also just play the Ruined King game, which was also great.
Yes, I need to play that still.
It was very-
I have a back catalogue. I always have a back catalogue of games. I know we all have it, but I am horrific at.
Yeah, well,
even
maybe by the
bothering.
time we tune back into this game, MNM will have, again, found a way to actually play out this game, because I'm coming up with a blank at this point. They've tried there to fight for Vision. They've tried to find those picks, and it's just not happening so far. They are grouping as 5, but they're on Vision. M&S has complete domination over the range here, too.
There's no package, I don't think.
It's just no good angle for M&M.
No, he's coming in. There's a teleport being thrown down, though, and it looks like this might be the final nail in the
GG.
coffin. W lands in instantly.
Oh, my God.
It's just turning on each other. M&M are falling apart at the seams. They're able to find one in response, but it is not enough. The damage is not high enough, and M&M are swiped. They are cleaned from the rift. A triple kill for Cries, and JDXL only lose Venza.
And it is as the Baron spawns, just a minute after it's entered the rift, it's going to make a swift exit. JDXL, they managed to clump MNM up. MNM were trying to go for that last gambit, try and find that pick, that one thing which might be able to turn around the game. And JDXL, they even have the luxury of waiting just 3 more seconds to get that Baron buff onto the rated carry and say, nah, let's go reset anyway. This is how it all started off. It's a deep teleport. They had full information about this. They knew how this was going to go all along. Credit to MNM for piling onto that first target and saying, yo, we just got to go for this. But FGG has that ultimate ready, able to just close down the entire team composition, a full team hostile takeover, and they get absolutely nuked.
It was an explosive fight there for JDXL. And that gold lead that we've been hitting on time and time again is just irrelevant. XL are too far ahead as they have been absolutely smashed in this game. But there is still that pick potential. They might be able to kill one. There might be just a little bit of pride on the line here. If they can take Price,
my
no,
God.
don't worry. Michigan just loses half his health to a rocket.
Gosh, well, maybe JDXL are playing PvE at this point. Looks like the level of power is, again, increasing to get further and further. More items after that fight. Inhibitors, towers going down, and
I think it's over. Ooh.
continuing to push up that ante. So far ahead, both in this game and in the league. Chimera's going.
He's flashed in. He's trying to get everything off.
Oh, it's again.
He can have another hostile takeover. Ripped through M&M, and they will fall one by one. Soft Cyclone will do absolutely nothing as he falls down. M&M are clean swept. It's an ace for the side of JDXL, and they can close this game out with Baron. The towers are under fire. Number 1 falls. Number 2 will be quick to follow. 23 minutes on the clock. JDXL finished the first round robin undefeated.
Beat every team in front of them. We knew this team had hopes in spring, which they didn't match.